Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Coffee with the Critters, where we live stream every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, unless otherwise notified. Okay, so bit tired today. Got a lot going on. And for those that may be new, my name is Laura Joseph, owner of the Animal Behavior Center. We're an international educational center where we teach people how to empower animals and we help empower those who care for them. And we do those through our live streaming services where you can find on our website, theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. We live stream our services and our work with teaching people how to use the science of behavior, applied behavior analysis with the animals in their care. And a lot of times, I have to often start with the people and using that with teaching them how to use that with people, other members of their family. In order to get to the animal that we need to modify behavior or train, oftentimes we have to teach the people first. Those of us that are in the field of animal training and behavior understand that and know that. So we are joined this morning with yours truly, Jelly Bean, the curl-crested Aracari, who's sitting behind me. I'll be getting her out of her crate here in a second. I just put her in there so she can get her morning poop out of the way. And I've got my poop protector on because as soon as I get her out, I'm about to be shat upon. I have her food sitting here next to me in a blueberry, out of blueberry 2 minutes later. And I have to go to work at the zoo after this, so I will shed my shawl and run. Good morning, everybody. Let's see, who do we have in here? Sheila, Tambry. Hey, Tambry, didn't I just see you? And Susie down there in Texarkana, and Maggie over in, I believe you're in Illinois or just over the line in Indiana, Maggie. Joan across seas, Mark, hey, and Sharon from the Long Island Parrot Society, Melinda, Bobby, Sharice, hey, Sharice, wasn't I just talking with you in the Parrot Project? Brianna down there at Papayago Rescue House in Georgia, Chantel up there in Canada, Jeannie Underwood over there in New Jersey, Karen Pratt, the manager here in Toledo, Ohio, Carol, Delton, Nita, Marilyn, Donna, Daniela, Nancy Forrester down there in Key West, and Ray down there in Florida. Hey, everybody. Are you surprised I remember where everybody's from? I am. So I've got a lot to tell you about this week. We start each Coffee with the Critters. Hey, Sylvia up there in Canada, Eva down there in North Carolina, Shelley over there, up there in Michigan. Got a lot to tell you about this week. So I decided to have a Q&A because we have our schedule's kind of up in the air right now because some of you know we've got some big news happening and we got to kind of ebb and flow with what's getting ready to happen. So I have a couple of speakers, people to interview, getting ready to come on. I had a topic I was going to be specific with on this morning, but I chose to hold off on it because I want to put more content together. Okay, let me get this off of here and let's get started. Before I start each episode, I do a little recap of the week. So for any of those that our projects and our memberships have really taken off, well, they've always taken off, but they've been very busy the last week. You can find out our memberships and our projects or our online live streaming services. If you have any questions about them, you can go straight to our website, theanimalbehaviorcenter.com, click on contact, and it'll come straight to me. Or just email me at Lara, Lara, at theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. So for those of you that want more content, we have somebody that might be helping us with our email newsletter because we have a lot of content in our email newsletter and I have a hard time getting that out because it's just me. writing that. So if you want to join our email newsletter, you can find that right here on our Facebook page. When we have an email that goes out to you, you will see this in the header. That's when you know you have an email from me. You're going to see our events starting to happen. The awesome Dr. Jason Crean is coming to town next weekend. He will be here for a couple of days. He's going to be seeing one of his new offices, which will be located here at the Animal Behavior Center. Jason and I work very closely on several different things, and we're working on putting some things together for the rest of, what year is this? Let's all forget this year, 2020 and into 2021. Good morning, Krista and Kim. So you can find out about, pay attention to our Facebook page, the events page. I got somebody getting very antsy behind me, so I need to keep moving. Okay, so some things that have happened this week. Yes, I was looking at some saltwater aquarium life this week and possibility of training some saltwater life, which I salivate at the opportunity to do so. I love training aquatic life. It's one of the things that gets me most excited besides alligators. A couple other things that are happening okay, my sister just texted me saying, I'm assuming it would be fine. Not sure what that conversation was about. A couple of things that are happening. Got some meetings this afternoon. I'm heading to the zoo as soon as we're done with this. And this is happening early tomorrow morning. Have you guys been following? We have been keeping this very quiet. Does anybody want to take a guess? I know some people know, some people don't know, some people don't know everything. There's some groundbreaking happening. It's already happening, but the construction of this big facility is starting tomorrow, and most of the building will be done within 3 days. So this whole week I have planned to pretty much be at the zoo to watch the construction of, this is my first time really announcing it. This has been in the works since January, but then the apocalypse hit. Those of you that know what I do, I've been training I trained numerous organizations, numerous animals, wildlife rehab centers, shelters, zoos across the United States. For the past 5 years, I have been, let's see if I can get this to play. Maybe I didn't do that right. Okay, there it is. For the past 5 years, I have been, Indian Creek Zoo in Lambertville, Michigan has hired me to train their animals, train their trainers. And in January, we had a meeting and we said, why don't we collaborate closer? And they had made a proposal to build us a new building and have the Animal Behavior Center move to Indian Creek Zoo. A lot of meetings, and we've agreed. So it's just a win-win all the way around. The Animal Behavior Center is still going to be the Animal Behavior Center. We're just going to be located on Indian Creek Zoo's property. So it'll still be the Animal Behavior Center. We're getting ready to have a brand new facility start. The blueprints are sitting here right beside me, about ready to be shat upon again. And we're going to be moving to Lambertville, Michigan. People have been asking me, what are you going to do with this big, bad, beautiful center that you have now? Believe me, there's been a lot of tears. um, but it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. So Indian Creek Zoo had told us, you will still remain the Animal Behavior Center. You will still own the building, the animals, everything. You will still have your own team. You will still be doing your own live streaming services. But when you walk out your front door, you will be on zoo property, and all of their animals are there for myself and the team here at the Animal Behavior Center to move in and start training. And they said, we need to collaborate. They want to take the zoo to the next level. So they have asked us to come on board. And us and Indian Creek Zoo have joined hands. So there you go. That's what's happening. All right. So there's my exciting news that I have made public. So our building starts tomorrow morning. Construction starts tomorrow morning. Construction team comes in, trusses and lumber is delivered. I'm getting ready to go see it, and I was told the building will be up in about 3 days. Then we've got to work on the plumbing, the electrical, the concrete, the aviaries, everything. We will be housing all of our animals out there, some of their animals, couple different mammals are coming in. But it is, so we won't have the 8,000 square foot grassed-in facility that we have here. But you know what's such a shame here, what I've noticed over the past 8 years since we bought this property, is that 8,000 square feet of grassed-in facility barely gets used. So I was looking into ways to fill it to get it used, and that's when Indian Creek Zoo said, come to the zoo. And we said, okay, we're coming. So we don't know how fast this is going to happen. This was supposed to start happening back in, the plans were in January. The pandemic hit the beginning of March and everything came to a screeching halt. Then the zoo business picked up and took off, and I took off with them. And we started putting the blueprints and everything back into motion. That's happening tomorrow morning. There we go. Let's get the jelly beaner wiener out. And today, we're going to have a Q&A. Come here. Brrr. Nice job. So Jelly Bean is our curl-crusted RSR. Do you see your pretty self? Where are you going? Oh, she does. You see that? Yep. Jelly Bean is our curl-crusted RSR. She's not ours. She belongs to the zoo. She's been here since the beginning of February. Yeah. Baby girl, baby girl. She's a toucanette. Yep, so Jason Cran, Dr. Jason Cran put us in touch with a person getting Jelly Bean here. Jelly Bean has been staying in my bedroom for the past week because she's been sick. So she is well on the mend. She's lost all her tail feathers. They're starting to come back in. I was told RSRs are very rough on their tail feathers. Why do you want on my keyboard all of a sudden? Why don't you step up there and poop in my pencil holder again? Good morning, Therese. Good morning, everybody. So today we're going to have a Q&A. Anybody have any questions? If not, this will be a very short episode, and I'm okay with that because I'm excited to get to the zoo. My brother called. Oh, I know what you want. Choose Caesar food. Let the chatting begin. My brother called last night. He's coming to town. He says, my brother always calls me kid. He's like, hey, kid, I want to come see what's happening at the zoo. I want to see your building. So he is driving in from Alliance to spend the afternoon with me, and I'm super excited. Jack Pine says, we talked about this Hey, control your poop. I can control your poop by where I place your food. Why don't you come up here and get some more food? Want to do that? Just don't poop in your water. Jack Pine, I was just talking to you about you the other day. Jack says, we talked about this when I was on as the pandemic started. It's so easy to focus on the stress, but pivoting and moving on has a ton of opportunity. Glad you've got so many exciting things happening. Thanks, Jack. It's been a rough year for everybody. It's been a rough year to figure out, for those of us that own our own businesses, to figure out what's going to happen to businesses, where are we going, what's our future. One thing that's been beneficial during the pandemic to the Animal Behavior Center is not all of our services. 90% of our services are online. So our services increased. You coming back over here? Yeah, okay. All right. The Beanster. Beaner Wiener. What? Yes. I know what's coming out of that end here in a couple minutes. Why don't you sit up on my computer? It's been a rough year for a lot of people. People are trying to figure out what the rest of 2020 is going to look like. What is 2021 going to look like? We were just notified. We are in Lucas County in Ohio. We were just notified, I believe on Thursday or Friday, that all of our school systems will be virtual and at home, at least until October 1st. So there's a lot of opportunity right now for people to learn online and continue education online. Online education is what we do here, so it's a benefit for us. Hey, Daphne, out there in Idaho. So, okay, Julie has a question. Let's get into the Q&A. Julie Faflick, and you can ask these questions. We got our monthly Q&As coming up in our live stream services, the Park Project, the Pig Project, level one membership, which is for companion animal owners, level 2, which is people want to get more into the field. Laura says, Julie says, Laura, I still can't figure out why my Goffins cries when I turn out the lights. I don't know for sure, Julie, but I would have to ask you a lot of questions. Julie asked, what would be the function of this behavior? When I'm first trying to address a question, I ask or identify a reinforcer behind a behavior, whether that behavior is desired or undesired. I ask the question, when does the behavior happen? When doesn't the behavior happen? So there's an environmental event triggering this behavior, Julie. That environmental event is the turning off of the lights. What happens simultaneously with turning off the lights? Probably you disappear. It could be for attention. So there's definitely different things you could do to help shape this behavior, shape the replacement behavior. In order to change a behavior, we need to replace it with another. I would ask, do you cover the cage? And you can slowly shape the room darkening. You could also just try to extinguish the behavior. I don't know if your bird has a separate room in which it sleeps. Okay. So you leave, Julie. That's what's happening. She's probably screaming or crying for your attention. These are social creatures. They don't necessarily like to be left alone. Okay. Something you could put it on extinction, but you got to make sure you keep it there and don't intermittently reinforce it. I would highly advise give her something else to do that occupies her time instead of screaming. And then once or the scream, the crying, once the crying starts, do not enter back into the room, because now you're reinforcing the very behavior you're trying to change. Good morning, Carl. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, so people that know the work that I do, I focus on using applied behavior analysis with all animals. I do have a love of birds, but definitely not limited to. I love working with exotics. I love working with all animals, but I have a lot of my friends and colleagues, and several of them on here, that work with domestic animals. I prefer to work with unreleasable wildlife ambassadors, education animals, and zoo animals, exotics, because it helps show that when we use force with animals, does it work? Sure, it does, but not without its consequences. I'm in here as a team with my animals. I like working as a team. I don't mind the animal training me as I train the animal, because training is communication, isn't it? Yeah, don't like my glasses. And depending on how we train, I want my training with that animal to be least intrusive, most positive, to the point where they fall asleep in my hands. Now, to the point where they trust me. Okay, so my work with exotics, right? Can you force these guys to do something? Sure. Can you force a chimpanzee to do something? Sure. Once. Once. A lot of animals I work with are in enclosures, and those enclosures limit choices. So I try to empower those animals and get them out of their enclosures if possible. A lot of times I have to begin working through the enclosure to build a relationship. But once I get that trusting form of communication and relationship, my training then moves to protective contact, and then to full contact, free contact. All right. And I always train for an accident, because there's been accidents. And I always train, no matter what the animal, even if I have to, those enclosures are no longer there accidentally. All right. What is it? I want that relationship to be as strong as possible. Okay, let me take a look at what you guys are saying. Somebody else had a question. So bring your questions. This doesn't even have to be this. You don't even have to tell me the animal in which you're asking the question. Just tell me the behavior, and I'll help you modify it. Melissa Cleary says, fostering, adopting 12-year-old male citron cockatoo. He was able to be handled the first day. 1 month has passed and seems afraid, learning to trust each other. Any recommendations on trust building interactions? Yes, Melissa, train. That is why I train. I focus on animal behavior training and enrichment, because all three of those go hand in hand. And I do that using positive reinforcement and applied behavior analysis. Okay, because it works, because it's the laws of behavior. Come up here. Okay. All right. Back to the food. It focuses on the laws of behavior. The reason I do 100% of the reason I do what I do is to empower the animal, give the animal more choices. And I do that through training. Training is learning. Training is teaching. Teaching is communication between me and the animal. And that is the number one reason I train, to have that form of communication with the animal. Okay. Melissa, I'm going to highly suggest you take a look at, sorry, I don't usually do this. I'm going to highly suggest you take a look at the Parrot Project. That's this one right here. It's our live streaming service we have. Our memberships focus on behavior. Our projects focus on species, and the memberships and the projects are designed to be combined. The Parrot Project is solely about working with parrots, and I highly suggest you take a look at that on our website, theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. The Parrot Project is probably one of the most popular parrot education programs out there for people living or working with parrots. Anybody in here in the Parrot Project want to make a comment about the content in the Parrot Project? It's an annual subscription, and I give my heart and soul to the Parrot Project. Because if you show me that you are serious, if you're not serious, I really don't want you in it, because it's just occupying space. If you're serious, I want you in it. If you're serious, I will help you. If you're not serious, then think about joining at a later date. So, hey, thanks, Kramer. Kramer says the Parrot Project is an amazing resource. Thank you. Okay, so let me take a look at what some people are saying. Okay. Jack, down there in Texas, says, working with animals that most people don't think of as being trainable is my favorite. Mine too, Jack. That's why I like fish, alligators. That's why I love training the turkey vulture. A lot of times people will be like, you train birds? What do you train birds to do? I don't know. Step on a scale, station, beak target, come when called. I train parrots to do everything I would train a dog to do, except for they just, not only can they walk, they can fly. And that is cool. Okay. Jack says elephants are smart and easy to train, but scale training pelicans is more rewarding to me. Yeah, and I've scale trained cormorants. I've scale trained we're getting ready to scale train the alligators. I got a new scale for them coming in a week. And you can do that through the target training. Did you guys see my target training that I did on Coffee with the Critters last week? Teach a nose target. I was showing it with the Siberian lynx that I was working with the other day. People always ask me, I like to train in public at the zoo because I'm educating the kids and the parents. And I'm sitting there with the target stick. And this last week I was training lynx, and people are like, what's the stick for? And I'm like, this is a target stick, you know, it's a basic introduction to training. And I said, watch this. You teach the, can I go poopy? It's coming. I said, you teach the lynx to touch their nose to a target. And then once they know that target, then you can teach them to go anywhere you want them to go, such as, sorry, I'm getting fruit splattered all over me, such as on a scale, in a crate, in a catch cage, okay? Nancy Forrester says, I'm having numerous feelings about your move, both sad and happy. I have grown to feel at home in your animal behavior center as its original location. I know the space because you share it so well. I will miss it. So will I. So will I, Nancy. Yeah, there's been a lot of memories here. There's a lot more to come. Yes. What do you think? Oh, when that's going to happen. Okay. Carl Brown says the Parrot Project has helped me with my umbrella. Great, thank you. And Tambry says the Parrot Project is awesome. Thanks, Tambry. It's coming, isn't it? I saw that tail move. Q. Science not only describes behavior, it predicts it. Julie says, I love the Parrot Project. Great, thank you. Oh, yeah. Oh. Sorry, sweetheart. Okay, we knew that was coming. See? It's able to predict behavior. All right. Let's see what anybody else is saying. Kristen says, is the Parrot Project for budgies too? Absolutely. We have several people who have budgies, even people in the Parrot Project from Australia that have budgies, right? Cheryl Duffy. Yeah, the Parrot Project is for people who have parrots. If you have a parrot, the Parrot Project is for you, because it's not about the size of the animal. It's about the individual, no matter what the size. Okay. Like I said, you can tell me you have an issue. You don't even have to tell me what the species of the animal is. I'll start digging and asking questions, because that's my specialty. Modifying behavior, using applied behavior analysis. Modifying behavior, teaching behavior. That is my specialty with animals. Okay. Julie says, where did Julie go? Julie Romero. I am new to the Parrot Project, but it has helped me a lot with my Indian ringneck and pineapple conure. Carl says, I have rehabilitated highly aggressive 6+ foot long snakes to be calm and trusting again. Yes. I love working with reptiles. Okay, comments are happening pretty quickly, so sorry. Sharon Collins out there in Long Island, highly recommend any issue you have with any animal can be solved through training and through the Parrot Project and through our memberships. So our level 1 membership, which is focused on companion animals living in the homes. We're getting ready to have a live stream next week with Emily Cassell in level 1 on small mammal enrichment. So level 1 focuses on companion animals and behavior. Level 2 focuses on people who want more intense work with using applied behavior analysis with animals. Right now in level 2, we are working with Tawny, the Eurasian eagle owl. I'm getting ready to live stream my training with the gators. All right. Work with numerous different animals. We were working before the pandemic with teaching baboons to open their mouth on cue, teaching a hand target. That's what happens that's what happens in our memberships. But then in our projects, we are species specific. And in the memberships are podcasts. With the podcast, great reviews. I'm letting her do that. Okay. Anybody else have a question? Yes, Adrian, down there in, Adrian, are you in Arkansas, right? A lot of zoos are doing training, including training for voluntary vet care in view of the public, allows for some great education, both for the public and the animals. Yeah. And a lot of times, this is what I love about being around at the zoo. I drive around on a cart. I love interacting with the people. I will jump off the cart and say, I see this young, fresh mind sitting there that is staring at the animals, and I will jump off and say, hey, what's your favorite animal here? What do you want to see this animal do something? People love seeing that engagement. Okay, not just an animal sitting around at a zoo. They love seeing that interaction, that engagement. I'll call the links up. And they're eager to engage because of their history of how they're being interacted with using positive reinforcement. So I often turn around and say, you can teach your dog to do this at home, right? Sharon says another visit is coming in 2021 to see the new center. Very excited. Yeah, be prepared. We're going to be booking up 2021. It's going to be loaded with all kinds of functions here at the center, at the new location of the center. And online events. So wait till you see how we have the layout designed. It's pretty cool. Let's just hope it follows through. The awesome Shelley Hostetler is on here. You have to invest in yourself to be able to handle behaviors that come our way. Absolutely. Hey, Katie Sislow, good to see you. Carol Peterson says, Laura, what do you feed your dogs? Carol, I feed my dogs raw. What is it called? I always want to say it's called Instinct, but I'm not sure. I know what the packaging looks like. I used to feed kibble with my former dog, and then I haven't had a dog in like 8 years, and I heard and saw all these dogs dying of cancer, and I was like, what is happening? So I started doing some research, started asking Dr. Jason Kring, started following Dr. Karen Becker, and then I was just like, all right. So I made the switch. Boom. Switched my puppy Rottweiler to raw. Got in Levi, our deaf bulldog, which is, he's all white. And he had tear duct stains and a lot of itching. And when I switched him to raw, boom, tear duct stains disappeared. So did the itching. Same thing with Snow, our deaf and blind border collie. So if you want, shoot me a message and I'll let you know exactly, Carol, what I feed. Samantha, the awesome Samantha Sarin says, Laura, have you ever had a cat up there at the ABC? No. We have considered it, Samantha, because we can train them. I train the cats at the zoo, primarily the bobcat and the Siberian lynx, working on an Asian fishing cat. The reason we don't have cats here at the center is because we have a lot of birds. And it's, I don't want that right now, ever. So I've chosen to train cats elsewhere instead of here. Why do you ask, Samantha? Why do you ask me? So Kramer says, let's see what Kramer has to say. And Kramer, you can follow her on Instagram, Parrots Are Us. Kramer, we just had somebody join level 1 due to following you on Instagram. Kramer says, it's not easy to train a toucan to station, but once you do, it's amazingly rewarding for us and the bird. Thanks to Laura's coaching in the Parrot Project, our Prince, the Toko Toucan, is doing things I never thought possible. So this membership is great for toucans as well. The membership is so empowering. I'm grateful. Thank you. Thanks, Kramer. Any way to teach? This is coming from Cheryl Hitter. I'm going to take the animal out of this. All right. Communication. She's training me. I'm cool with that. Any way to teach an animal to move that has never moved? Yes. There is. So the specific question is, any way to teach a 22-year-old macaw to fly who never fledged? Yes, I've done it. I don't spend a lot of time on it for numerous reasons. A lot of times when teaching an animal a new form of locomotion, you have to begin at the end. When I'm teaching an animal to flap its wings, I teach it first how to land, because that's how it's going to end. All right. And if the animal, you're going to poop on me again, aren't you? The animal doesn't know how to land, it will positively punish the behavior of taking off. And yes, we do talk about that in the Parrot Project. All live stream parrot related webinars are free in the Parrot Project. All live stream related behavior webinars are free to those in level 2 and level 1. All live stream pig related webinars are free to those people that are in the pig project. Let's see. Did Sean Whaley just say something? So we got somebody, looks like, doing work in a bird shop. So welcome to Coffee with the Critters, where we live stream every Sunday morning. Oh, here it goes. Yeah. Hang on. What a beautiful live stream. Yeah. Okay. Blueberries are not our friends this morning. But, okay. So in a blueberry, out a blueberry, right? What does that tell you? I've had 2 chats upon my desktop this morning, and both have been full of blueberries. So let's do a little identifying reinforcers. So the first thing she's eating is her blueberries. She has a wide variety of fruits in her dish. So that should be a cue to you right now, in this instance. Boom. Positive reinforcer, food reinforcer identified. Blueberries. Take them out of the dish. All right. Deliver the same amount throughout the day, but for behaviors requested that you want to maintain or increase. Donna says, how do we join the Parrot Project? Therese or Karen? Karen's probably on her way to the center. Can anybody post a link? You can go to theanimalbehaviorcenter.com, click on memberships, scroll down to the bottom of the memberships, and you'll see the projects. That's how you join. Okay, so let's take more. Anybody else have anything? Here we got one. Boy, full of bird questions today. It's fine. It's cool. Julie Payne. Julie Payne. Name is new. I'm working with a team to capture an escaped scarlet macaw. It has been 8 days with near captures. Julie, I'm going to tell you right now, contact 911 Parrot Alert, Carol Kessler over there. She's going to help you. We did a live stream on here about 1.5 years ago with Carol Kessler. She specializes in help reuniting birds with their people. Okay. Lisa Pratt says, I'm interested in some info as well. Okay. Since people are asking about our memberships and our projects, I would love to pull them up. So go to theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. This is our website, all right? And you click right up here on memberships. When you click on memberships, it is going to show you level 1, level 2, level 3. 3 is corporate memberships. Level 1, the memberships and the projects are meant to be combined, but not necessary. In our memberships, we have monthly podcasts. You have a 5-year library of in detail depth podcasts, and we focus on the function of behavior with numerous different animals. Level 1, we focus on companion animals, people living with animals in their home, doesn't matter. Level 2, we focus on more into the science of behavior, and I live stream weekly my work with animals, numerous species of animals at zoos here, what have you. And people want to see, like, where do you begin recall training an alligator? Where do you begin a hand target with a baboon that doesn't understand, that doesn't like to be touched and doesn't like to touch? That's in level 2. Level 2, we talk a lot about business as well. We have group live streams where we talk to each other about a topic. We have people interviews on, okay? And it's about the science of behavior. There's a lot of people in there that are board certified behavior analysts, professional dog trainers, professional animal trainers, zoo trainers, wildlife rehabbers, okay? Or people that just are thinking about getting in the field. All right, so then click on memberships. If you are a member, level 1 or level 2, you can choose a project. And the projects are underneath that. When you choose a project, you get the project half off. So you can combine level 1 or level 2 with the parrot project and get the, ouch, that was my neck, not my button. And get the project at half off. Yeah. And we have monthly Q&As in memberships and in the projects. In the projects, we pick topics and we go and I live stream every step of the way. Where I begin working with a fearful animal, where I begin working with an animal that's going to bite me as soon as it can. Okay, so that's where you go. And if you have any questions, just email me at laura@theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. Hey, Katie. Thank you, Mark, and Karen for posting the link. Oop, yep. She just saw the turkey vulture fly to the top of the center. Hi, Willie. It's nice. I'm on the second floor of my house, which is my office, and my turkey vulture, not mine, is eye level. Okay, Kathy Bain says, how many foraging toys do you suggest in a cage one time? That's Depends. Depends on the size of the cage. Depends on, that's like asking how many foraging toys for a dog in the living room at one time. It depends. When I'm providing foraging toys, I will see what substrate the animal is interacting with. This bird does love me, don't you? Yeah. What does love mean? What does love look like? So Jelly Bean is fully fledged and she could go anywhere she wants at any time. Where's she going? Why? Why? Those are the questions. Why is she sticking around here? Because I'm delivering one hell of a lot of positive reinforcement in the form of touch. Be specific. Where I'm touching. Okay. So the beak. Does she like that? If she doesn't, I don't want to pair it with myself. I know she does. So what I don't want is her pooping on my computer and jumping on my computer. So I'm delivering positive reinforcers for other places I do want her. And I've got her positioned right above my glass top desk where she can poop again if she wants to, and it's going to miss my leg. So how many foraging toys? It depends. If a cage, an enclosure is full of toys, but the animal is not interacting with it, then it's just obstacles in the way. Get them out. Studies show with predictability comes boredom. That is old predictable toys. Sometimes we keep giving toys and the animal doesn't interact with them. All right, so get them out of there. A lot of times I'll throw them in a toy box or give them to a different animal. And huge cage, I don't know what huge means, Kathy. Kathy, aren't you in the Parrot Project? I can't remember. Because what does huge mean? I don't know what huge means. Huge to me means 8,000 square feet. My birds have cages that are 9 feet by 10 feet by 9 feet tall. Some people consider those huge. I don't really. But in my cage, let's say I've got a bird enclosure that's 9 feet by 10 feet tall by 9 or 10 feet wide. I probably have about 12 to 15 toys in there. But it also depends on how the animal moves. Is the animal flighted? If so, I may not have as many. And I design enclosures so when the animal flies, it doesn't hit its primaries on all these toys that people cram into their cage. I've seen cages that are so crammed full of toys that I'm just like, holy cow, the animal can't even move. That cage could be full of aversives because the animal can't fly because the primaries hit a toy, or toys placed directly over a perch where it punishes the behavior of the animal moving to the other side of the perch. Okay. Okay, anybody else? Okay, yeah, so here it comes. There it goes. Nice job. Blueberries. Well, let's talk about it in the Parrot Project. Let's show pictures of our cages. I'll show you pictures of mine, how I design enclosures based on the individual animal, how it moves, if it has any special needs, length of tail feathers, length of primaries, if the bird can fly, if it swings, what have you, okay? Okay, well, let's see. With that being said, you guys, I've got people waiting on me at the zoo, and I'm pretty excited to get there. I may live stream when I get there. I may take pictures of what it looks like before the construction begins. But tomorrow morning, you bet, at 8 a.m., I will be out there watching my building go up. Okay, so if you want more information on, we have so many services we offer here at the Animal Behavior Center. We have a list of recorded webinars. Our live webinars will get started probably towards the end of the year, after our move into our new building. And I've already designing new webinars with new topics, and several people have been requesting. So I will give that to you. Oh, why don't you eat your grape up there, because you're going to wing it all over my face. Science not only describes, it predicts. And on my glasses. Our webinars, numerous different topics, from identifying reinforcement, okay? We have topics like that. We have topics like understanding behavior. This is a great webinar. This is a lot of information for this webinar. This is beginning positive and negative reinforcement, positive and negative punishment, target training, shaping. There's a lot in there. We also have, I know we got a lot of people that follow our work that have pigs. We have the pig project. We have a lot of webinars on pigs, addressing aggression with your pig. Anything else that I have not covered? All right. We have our referral program, which is for every 5 people you refer to that sign up for one of our projects or memberships, earns yourself or your organization a free 1-hour online behavior consultation. And with that, I give to you a big shout out and a big thank you. Join us next week. We're also going to have Emily Cassell on at the end of this month. We have somebody scheduled for next month. I can't remember. But it's coming, and sign up for our email newsletter. And you can find out more about us on our website, theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. Stay tuned this week. It's going to be an exciting week, guys. All right. I'm happy to take you with me. Thanks for joining for another week. See you next weekend.